Hi and welcome back. You might be surprised to see me again so soon, and indeed I'm a little surprised that I'm doing this video so soon, but it kind of had to be. Had to be today because today is Shrove Tuesday, it's right at the beginning of Lent, and I said I was going to review a book, and I am reviewing a book. It came as a bit of a surprise to me, this book, because I only picked it up just over a week ago. But this book here is a book that my church is going through for Lent. And so I've just been going through it in preparation for talking through it with my life group. And I'd like to introduce you to it because, partly because obviously it's about Lent, but also because it is creative. It's creative in its content and it's creative in its form. The form it takes is a series of meditations, taking various passages from the Bible on a theme, and then bringing out things from the passage and asking questions to challenge and provoke thought about where we can go from here. So the basic theme of the book, the main theme of the book, is wilderness experiences. And it talks about various wilderness experiences throughout the Bible, picks up lots of passages. And one thing I picked up from the book, there's a lot of wilderness/desert experiences in the Bible. It's almost as if God chooses to put people in desert experiences, or at least often chooses to meet people there. There are a lot of them. So I think that's one thing that the book wants to bring out over and over again, that the author, that Paul Gooder, wants to bring out from this, that wilderness experiences are not somewhere where God is absent. Wilderness experiences are somewhere where God most definitely is, that he is very willing to meet us in those places. Maybe it's because there are less things to get in the way, because it's just basically down to us and him, or maybe it's because he cares and he's already there. He's with us. He travels with us into the experience. He's already in there, already in those wildernesses, and he cares for us. So the format of the book is a series of meditations, but it can be done in two ways. If you're doing it with a group, it's divided into 8 chapters. If you're doing it as an individual, it's also divided into 34 individual meditations. She explains that the reason she chose the number 34 is both because people do Lent in different ways, so you can make that number, which is slightly less than the traditional 40 days of Lent, fit you. But also, if just possibly you miss a few days here and there, you should still be able to finish in time for Easter. So as I said, the main theme is wilderness, and she goes through a lot of wilderness experiences in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, various characters, different ways, different reasons they get there, and how God meets them, and what God does with them when they're there. Which is another point to bring out, that every wilderness experience is different. Every person is different, but each time we go through a wilderness experience, we're different from the previous time. We've learned stuff. We're in a different situation. We've come from a different situation, and we need to learn different things and do different things this time. So whatever it is that's going on in your life, however tough or dry or barren it seems, that doesn't mean that God isn't there. It also doesn't mean that he doesn't care, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't have anything to say to you. And then the book takes what you might think of as a surprising turn, in that it's the last third of the book, only 2 chapters, but it's the last third of those. And it talks about discipleship. So it talks about responding to God's call on your life, whether that's an overarching call of your whole life, or just what he wants you to do next, which, to be honest, is quite a bit more common that God tells us just the next step, the next place he wants us to go, the next thing he wants us to do. But whatever it is, discipleship is very important. And it's also interesting that in putting it together with wilderness like this, it drew out to me the fact that discipleship can often feel similar to what we feel like when we're in a wilderness, in a desert, in that we're going along and we're like, I really have no idea what I'm doing here. I know God's told me to do this. He's put me here in this position with these people. How do I do it? But that doesn't mean that God isn't there. So whether it's tough or whether it's just that you're in a time when you really don't know what's going on, you don't know what to do, don't worry. Wherever there is for you, the title of the book is Let Me Go There. Wherever there is for you, wherever there is for you now, whatever you know or don't know, God does. God knows all that you need to know. And he can guide you. He can support you. He can give you strength. For instance, one of the lesser known wilderness experiences is when Elijah runs away after attacking the prophets of Baal. And mostly what God does to him there is look after him. He gives him sleep. He gives him food and drink. He encourages him before sending him back. Sometimes all we need is a break. But God knows, and if what we need is a break, he's willing to do that. And if what we need is a refocus or just pointing something out that we hadn't noticed or had noticed but hadn't paid attention to, he can do that too. So whatever is going on with you, whatever's going on in your life, wherever there is for you, God is there. God is also where you are right now. And God is willing to take you from where you are right now to wherever there is for you. Thanks for listening.